Circle. Close. But definitely wrong.
Let's say I showed you two shapes, shape 1 and shape 2. And then I ask you which of these shapes matches the word boba and which matches the word kiki. For 98% of people, shape 1 is kiki and shape 2 is boba. And it doesn't matter if you're from America, India, or you're 2.5 years old. This result is extremely consistent across all cultures and languages. So what does it mean? I want to suggest that with this study, we can see how the brain gives abstract meaning to many different shapes in a consistent way. And filmmakers use this phenomenon to tell their story. The best place to see this idea has to be animation, where animators can make objects and characters from any shape they want. Let's start with the basics: circle, square, and triangle. This may seem reductive, but these shapes say a lot more than you may think. Evil characters are drawn like Kiki. They have sharper features, pointy noses, ears, and long curly fingers. And the lovable characters are designed like Boba, soft and round. Is it a coincidence that the fluffiest and least threatening character in animation is named Baloo? To me, this whole concept makes intuitive sense. Our brains are designed to see sharp and pointy things as more threatening.
It is too round on the top, it needs to be pointy. Round is not scary. Pointy is scary.
Notice how I can draw the nicest and most recognizable character in animation with 3 circles. And notice how the devil is commonly represented as a collection of triangles. But do it a little more subtly and you're able to emit an emotional response to the viewer without them even noticing. It happens during one of my favorite movie moments of all time, when we see the wicked villain transform from Kiki into a round, vulnerable Boba. You may think this only applies to animation, but is it a coincidence that Darth Vader's mask has this shape, and Lord Darkhelmet, the cartoonish and comedic parody of Darth Vader, has this shape? One of the sharpest villains is Maleficent, and they even try to keep her pointy jawline and eyebrows in the live-action remake. Following these same principles, what does it mean when you call somebody a square? It means they're boring, maybe they're old-fashioned. But a square can also symbolize something that is sturdy and firm. Sound familiar? Squares are rigid and slow to change. If the world isn't how they want it to be, maybe they get a little angry.
Right after you eat this!
If you really want to think abstractly, the world of film exists inside a rectangular shape. A lot of important geometry comes from framing. The most significant framing to look for is probably the frame within the frame. This is used to show a character trapped in their current situation. Another less common but equally important frame within the frame is the circle, which gives the geometric impression of surveillance and spying. To go a step deeper than the frame within the frame, you can use lines to create a visual jail cell in the frame. Whether it's through blinds in an office or even a computer screen, a collection of vertical and horizontal lines can indicate a character is not only trapped, but held prisoner in their current lifestyle. These shots use geometry as a means of visual storytelling.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Without us even noticing it, framing is filled with lines. Geometry is everywhere, and the same principles apply. Triangles can emphasize power dynamics, linear framing can show physical separation, or straight lines can guide our eyesight. So the next time you rewatch your favorite movie, try analyzing the geometry of the framing and characters. If you do that, then you're in good shape.
Wait a minute. Is that an Archimedean spiral? The mirror dimension is just geometry? You're great at geometry. You could do geometry. Square the radius. Divide by pi. Plot points along the curve. Hey, Strange. You know what's cooler than magic? Math.